Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? It makes perfect sense. I mean, this New Orleans Saints organization absolutely crushing it right now. I mean, you win 5 games. You don't blow the whole thing up. No, that's not what you do. You recognize that the reason you won 5 games was all just bad circumstance. We had injuries. We signed the right guys. We drafted the right guys. Yeah, Derek Carr is great. Yeah, Isaiah Foskey's going to be an all-pro when he goes and plays for the Eagles. It's not us. It's them. You know what we're going to do? We're going to run it back. Hey, Chase Young, $51 million. Here you go. Juwan Johnson, one-trick pony, kind of okay. Some big drops last year, not your fault. 3 years, $30 million. Here you go. Come on back. Tyrann Mathieu, Carl Granderson. Let's rework some contracts, Cesar Ruiz. It's not just to have you back this year. Kick money into future years, too. It's going to be awesome. By the way, Paulson Adebo and Will Harris, you stink. Get out of here. We don't need you. The young cornerback who can do backflips. Now, look, he is a walking PI, but I don't need him. The only safety on the team that was actually good last year, the productive safety that had 74 tackles, 7 passes deflected, was actually durable for you. 13 games. Get out of here. We want the old guy with declining production on an expensive deal that will kick money into future years. That's what we want. That's the way to win. I mean, you trying to say that we ain't made the playoffs since COVID year because of bad roster management, bad cap management, bad drafting, bad free agent decisions, bad coaching hires? Is that what you're trying to say? No, it's not us. It's them. Boy, it's just unfortunate. We had bad luck. You can't judge us by the results. Didn't the GM say that? You can't judge us by the results. Not letting him hurt me, y'all. Not doing it. Not opening myself up to be hurt. Not letting him do it to me. I'm just going to point out how stupid they are over and over again. Chase Young, 3 years, $51 million. Hey, did you see Zach Bond? Remember him? You remember Zach Bond, Muse? You remember that guy?
I do remember Zach Bond, yeah.
A good year. Had a good year.
He had a great year.
He was a NFL Defensive Player of the Year finalist. He just got a new deal. Do you remember how much that deal was for?
It was around $50 million, wasn't it?
It was 3 years, $51 million. It was the exact same number as Chase Young's deal. Nailed it. Draft a guy. Do nothing with him. Let him go somewhere else. Become a Defensive Player of the Year candidate and give him the same contract to give a guy who is about to be 26 years old and Chase Young, who's already had a torn ACL and got neck issues. Nailed it. I mean, it don't take just anybody to do this. Now, in all seriousness, I think Chase Young is a fine player. This year, his Pro Football Focus grade actually was the worst of his career, but he did have more hurries and pressures. It was the second most hurries and pressures of his career. So coming off the edge, you did okay. In the NFL, you have to have a quarterback, guys that protect the quarterback, and guys that affect the quarterback. So you need quarterback, left tackle, edge rusher. One of the players you restructured is Carl Granderson, had his production plummet this year in 2024 after you paid him. Cam Jordan paid the fewest snaps of his career and had the lowest Pro Football Focus grade of his career. And Isaiah Foskey, in his second year of the NFL, had 4 tackles, no sacks, no pressures, no hurries, no batted balls, and really no chance of ever being anything until he goes to the Eagles and becomes an all-pro. So you had to have somebody who can rush the passer. So you give Chase Young a 3-year, $51 million deal that could be worth as much as $57 million because, of course you do. Okay player. I don't love the contract. He's 26 years old in April, still in his prime. But like I just mentioned, look at what you let walk in Zach Bond and now what you're paying Chase Young. It's just ridiculous. I'll be curious to see what the structure looks like of Chase Young's deal. But you're just going to keep restructuring. And it's incredible to watch what this team has done, what this organization has done. Restructuring Derek Carr, restructuring Tyrann Mathieu, restructuring Carl Granderson, Cesar Ruiz, Pete Werner, restructuring half the roster, kicking money into future years to free up cap space now, Derek Carr, of course, for what? So you can re-sign Chase Young and Juwan Johnson? This is it? This is the magic anecdote? You know, I understand sometimes the need for good debt. Let me give you an example in your household, okay? Like, swiping a credit card to buy things that you can't afford is not good debt. Okay, like swiping a credit card to buy an expensive suit or to pay for a trip you can't afford, that's bad debt. That's not good. You can't afford it. Don't spend it. If you go into debt because you're going to medical school to be a doctor, okay, that's necessary. And it's going to pay off. Eventually, that investment is going to pay off for you. What the Saints are doing right now is they keep consolidating debt to take out a bigger line of credit. Which, again, if you got 40-year-old Drew Brees and you feel like you're contending and you're right there on the precipice of winning a championship, I can understand it. I can say, you know what? It's going to take 7 years of med school, but on the back end, look, we're going to have to pay for it for a while. But once that debt's gone, boy, we're going to be rolling. It's going to be worth it, right? I can get it. Man, it's going to hurt for a little while after, but you win that championship, and it's going to be really nice. The problem Saints have right now is they're taking all their debt, they're consolidating their debt, they're taking out a bigger line of credit to go buy a boat. Let's give Chase Young $57 million. Juwan Johnson, $30 million. I mean, does anyone realistically think this team is going to be any better than they were in 2024? You are running it back with the same group of players. Got a new coaching staff. Oh, I'm sure it's going to go great. Same group of players, aging, overpriced veterans, and continuing to rework all these deals. All you're doing is handcuffing yourself in future years even further. You're going to accumulate so much debt, you're passing it on to your kids and their kids. That's what the Saints are doing. They're creating a giant problem that's going to continue to be a problem for future coaches to have, future front office. If Mickey Loomis ever gets fired, probably won't, but whatever. Oh, but by the way, they brought back Dante Pettis as well. Fired up about that. I'm sure that's going to be the magic unlock for this team. I mean, imagine if you were like a Washington Commanders fan today. You got Jaden Daniels, you got DK Metcalf, you got $100 million to go spend. Free cash. Let's go do it. Let's go build a contender. Meanwhile, we're here stuck with a quarterback that doesn't want to be here and you can't afford to give it. Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.